How's it going, guys? It's Josh here with Buckeye Bowhunter. It's this January 15th today, Saturday, and it's about 10 degrees outside. I still do have a doe tag. I've been hunting a pretty fair amount and have not been able to get a doe in front of me here this late season. I had a buddy out to one of my properties and he did kill a doe. I got film of that. So I'll have that video coming out here pretty soon as I get to editing it. But with that said, pretty cold day today, so I figured I'd just make this video I've been wanting to make for a long time, and that is what I carry in my whitetail pack. I changed a lot of stuff up this year because this year was the first year in a long time that I actually started filming with an actual camera and a camera arm and all that stuff. Last year I was just using a cell phone, which made it very easy, but this year I had to kind of get creative with all the stuff that I took and kind of took a minimalist approach just to allow room for all of that camera gear and to not be carrying a ton of weight into the woods. And I was just very happy with the stuff that I took in, how it all fit in my pack, how it worked together, and I thought I'd share it with you guys because it seemed to work really well for me, and I never had any issues. Once, how the beginning of the season, usually, the first couple hanging hunts, there's always some goofy stuff that happens. You forget a release or you drop something or you're just not comfortable with your system yet because you haven't done it all year. But after, the first week of bow season, this just became like a system. And, as long as I stuck to that system, I never really had any mechanical issues or forgetting things or anything like that, and I had what I needed every time I hunted. So I will say, full disclosure, this might not be for everybody. The way I hunt, a lot of my stands, a lot of my farms, we're talking 100, 150 acres. So I'm not walking very far and I'm going out for 3-4 hours. So I'm usually not taking I'm not trying to camp out there and stay the night or hiking 5 miles into my stand, usually. So the way I hunt, this has been the most efficient, just lightest possible that I could get without kind of compromising anything super important. I will have a link down in the description to all of the products that I have and talk about if you are interested. But with that said, let's get started. So I should mention, if you guys haven't ever watched any of my videos, the last 2 years I've hunted with the Lone Wolf Custom Gear public land, the .5 stand, and I've kind of switched back and forth between using the double steps and the compact mini sticks. I'm still trying to kind of figure out which ones I prefer the most, kind of putting them both through their paces completely before I make a decision. And it looks like with the new ATA show that just came out, Lone Wolf Custom Gear has got some pretty cool new little design features for stacking your sticks and integrating the double steps into the stand. They got the little footholds for your bolts to set into the platform, which is kind of nice. So I'm going to reserve my judgment for a while here until I figure it out, because this mobile hunting game, it's just a constant evolving thing. I feel like I'm never 100% that's the way I'm going to do it forever, because something else comes out and you're like, oh, well, I need that now, I'm sure you guys know how it is. Anyways, with that said, this pack is the XOP Gear Shadow Pack, and it works phenomenal with the .5 stand. It's like the perfect size. This hooks onto the backpack, utility hook on the I-beam of the stand very well and sits on the seat perfectly, perfect dimensions. But what's really cool about this pack, especially when it starts getting late season and it's getting cold and you're taking extra layers with you, is it does have these lashings on the side with buckles, so you can take a couple extra layers with you. They don't get that big, but I found that I could throw, a vest and my jacket on there and walk in, with just a couple base layers on, and once I get all set up in the tree, put them on and I'm good to go. But that's kind of a nice feature of this pack. It doesn't have a lot of storage, but like I said, the way I kind of limited myself with gear this year, I didn't really have the need for storage. We'll get into the front pouch here, and the front pouch isn't too big, but I'm just gonna kind of go through products one by one. Two of the big things that I always carry with me: folding saw, and I think this is a Wicked Gear folding saw, and a pair of pruners. So the pruners are something that I can't stress enough. I love to have a good set of pruners with me. Saws are great for bigger limbs. Smaller limbs, sometimes they can be kind of a pain depending on where you can reach to and how flimsy the limb is, what it's made of. And then also I feel like they're a little noisy, where this, if all you gotta do is cut some smaller limbs, like a less than an inch or a half inch in diameter, this is much quieter. You can just clip it off. And when I'm walking into stands, like, you're doing hanging hunts and I'm on private land, obviously, it's really easy to just keep this in your back pocket. And as you're walking through thick stuff, just kind of clipping briars as you go, if you're heading into an area that you haven't hunted that year, and kind of stay a lot quieter. You don't got briars ripping on you and stuff. So I tend to keep this handy with me walking to and from my stands a lot. These are two things that I always have with me when I'm hunting private land, I guess, where you're allowed to cut limbs. Next, in this front pouch, all I have is my release, and this is just a Scott's Archery Little Goose. Pretty simple, just wrist strap release. Hasn't failed me yet, so pretty nice little release. I got some face paint, just a little thing of the HME black face paint. I love to paint my face. I don't really wear a mask or anything just because the beard makes it a little hard, so I end up painting my face a lot. Next in here, I do have a grunt call. I don't do a lot of calling, but you're always gonna wanna have this on you just in case. I think this is a Woodhaven Custom Calls, just the Stinger Pro Grunt. I think it's got a really nice tone. It's not a very loud grunt call. I don't really like those grunt calls that, like the Primo's Buck Roar that get super loud and stuff. I think it's just not very realistic. Like I said, I don't do a lot of calling. I like to just kind of be quiet and have the element of surprise. But yeah, I carry a grunt tube anyway, so it's not a lot of weight, not very big, might as well carry it. Next in here, I have, this is for my GoPro, and this is usually not in my pack on the way to the stand. I'll usually have my GoPro hooked up to this for walking into the stand, filming and talking to the camera. Kind of a cool little rig. It's got legs that you can stand up, so if I want to film hanging my tree stand, or if I'm turkey hunting and I want to point the GoPro at me or something, it's kind of a nice little rig. You can do a lot of things with it, but mostly what I use it for is walking into the stand so I can talk. And I got this, it's this little tiny thing. It kind of just closes up and doesn't take up a lot of room, super light, so I'll carry that with me. And then I believe that's it for the front pouch. Got some hot hands here for late season. In this top pouch here, the only thing I have in here is my rangefinder. This is an Archer's Choice rangefinder. I've had this thing by Nikon. I've had this thing for, freaking 10 years, I think. I don't think I've ever changed the battery on it, honestly, but it works. So I just purchased a Bino Harness rangefinder pouch. So I'm gonna try to start keeping it on my chest here, because that has been a problem this year, having it in this pouch. I usually have my pack like set up on the tree next to me, and I'll just leave the rangefinder sitting like this so I can grab it. But sometimes that's a little too much movement when these deer are moving in, especially late season like this where you just get picked off so quick. So that's something I kind of want to change, but like I said, that's the only thing I keep in there is that rangefinder in that top pouch. And for the big pouch here, now I don't have much in here, but this is like where I keep all my camera gear. I guess I'll start with the camera arm. And I have a camera arm. I think they are discontinued now, and they're pretty small. It's not as small as, say, like the Lone Wolf Custom Gear mini camera arm or whatever they're calling it, but this is pretty small for a camera arm. And this is all, I have to take in with me. It's got the ratchet strap, it's got the base, and then you just hook it up. It's got 3 different sections, so I can get all the way around my body and pretty much film every angle of the tree. And it's been a really nice camera arm for me, so I'm not gonna switch as long as it works for me. This is by Third Arm. I don't even know if they're in business anymore. If you find a link down below, I guess that means they are. I'll check after I'm done with this video, but it's the Third Arm Bandit. I'm sure you could probably pick one of these up, you know, on Archery Talk or for used on eBay or something, but it's been a really nice arm for me. I like it. This head is something new that I started using this year, and this is the Small Rig Compact Fluid Head, and it is tiny, and it does a pretty good job. So I'm not, you know, making these movie quality videos, so there's no need to lug in a giant, you know, Manfrotto head or anything like that. And I think this thing only costs about 60, 70 bucks. It's just been a really nice, tiny little head. It's got a really small, like, profile, so it's not taking up a lot of room. It's really easy to use. Gets pretty good, you know, fluid movement. I kind of like it, so. It works really well with the camera setup I'm using. I'm not using a really big camera, which is what I'm gonna get to next. The camera I use is actually on the tripod. It's what I'm filming with right now. But I use a Canon HF M41, which is an older camera. It's just a, you know, a flash memory, 1080p camera from, I think, probably 6-7 years ago. But it still gets the job done and makes, you know, you guys see my videos, it does a pretty quality job for YouTube. And I just run a shotgun mic on the top of it. It has a, like a dedicated Canon hot shoe on the top. And you have to buy the Canon microphone that kind of goes with it. But it's a pretty cool little system, and it's a really compact, small package, which that's what I'm kind of going for. So, and then what I keep it in is just this little tiny pack. And this is just a camera case. I got it probably on Amazon or something, Walmart. And it's just this little tiny small pack. My camera fits right in here. Shotgun mic fits in here. A couple extra memory cards, a couple extra batteries, and that's it, you know. My camera's protected, and this tiny little package, which, like I said, that's what I'm going for. So. And then there's one more little pouch in here. I keep all my hooks and stuff like that. So I have one of these HME, I think it's originally made for like trail cameras, one of these trail camera rigs, and this is what I'll hook my GoPro up to, which this is pretty cool. I was using like the GoPro with the clamp. Actually, it's right here. I was using this for a lot of the year this year. It's pretty big and bulky, and believe it or not, you'd find a ton of trees where you couldn't get this clamp around any branch nearby, or the branches were too big, or didn't have any branches, or the branches were too small. So you'd have to get really creative about how you would hook this up to the tree. I started carrying an extra screw-in step so that I could screw the step in and then clamp this to the step, which was just a bunch of extra stuff. So instead of that, I just bought this, and when I get to the tree, all I do is take my GoPro off of this and put it onto this, and I'm good to go. So, and then I have in here a couple bow hooks. I always carry 2 bow hooks with me, just in case, you know, you never know, you're gonna lose one or whatever. And these, I just pretty much got these on Amazon. This bow hook I've had for about 15 years, I think. I absolutely love it. Hopefully I never lose it. But I use this one, and I just got a backup. Very small, very lightweight, doesn't take up a lot of room, might as well have one. What else do I got in here? Good pocket knife. Really good pocket knife. I always have a nice sharp knife on me, you know, gutting, whatever you're gonna need it for. This is just a Spyderco. I think it's like a $60 knife. But I always keep one in there. This isn't my daily carry or anything like that. This is just a knife that stays in my Whitetail pack, and I never take it out, just so I know I'm always gonna have it. But so I got a knife, and then what else? A couple extra small hooks here for couple extra small hooks here just for hanging, you know, my backpack or my quiver or any random things I might have in the tree there. This one's actually bent like crazy, so that might be out of commission, honestly. But just a couple hooks here. This hook I really like actually for hanging my pack on. It's a little deeper, feels a little more safe than this is like intended to be a bow hook. Anyways, I always like to have a couple extra of these. And I believe that is it. What else do I got in here? And then last but not least, I have a lens cleaner. Now obviously if you're gonna be filming hunts or even for your binoculars, you know, it's good to have some kind of lens cleaner on you, because as careful as you are, stuff always happens to get dirty, you know. And if I'm filming or, you know, trying to use my binoculars, dirty lenses and dirty glass is the worst. So I always carry just one of these little lens cleaner kit things. So, but yeah, that is everything that I carry into the woods with me. So, you know, I got my release, I got a grunt call, you know, saw, clippers, my camera gear, all the hooks I need, a knife, and that's about it. You know, I got my clothes on my back, tree stand on my back, the pack goes on the tree stand. I carry my binoculars in a harness on my chest. I keep my, you know, milkweed in my binocular harness so I can get it all the time. And besides that, like, there's nothing really else that I found that I've needed this year when I'm out in the tree stand deer hunting. Now during the rut, I'm obviously gonna pack, you know, a drink in there or some food, and there is extra room in there for some granola bars or a bottle of water or a thermos with some coffee or whatever you want to take into the woods with you. It's not that small of a pack. What I got in here, there's still room. It's just gonna start getting pretty tight. The way I got it packed now, I can get everything out pretty easily, pretty quietly. The problem happens when you got a pack and it's so stuffed full of stuff that, you know, you're making noise and you have to dig around in the bottom of it to find what you need. Everything in here is easily grabbable. I can get to it super easy. You know, all these pouches, when I hang my bag, because of these side buckles where I keep my clothes, when I hang my bag, I just leave my bag open with these side buckles closed, and I can just reach into all these pockets and grab whatever I need while I'm hunting. It's been pretty nice. The only gripe that I have about this bag is it's pretty loud. The material it's just like, you know, ripstop kind of, I don't even know what you call it, like kind of plasticky sort of feel. You know, I'm sure it's like water resistant and whatnot, but it definitely is kind of a louder pack. And I've thought about switching to maybe a fleece pack or, you know, a pack made of a different kind of material that's a lot quieter. But, you know, packs are expensive, so make do with what I got. For now, for this year, this system has been pretty much bulletproof for me. Yeah, with that said, I hope I gave you guys some ideas. Hopefully you guys can, you know, make your pack a little lighter and get rid of some stuff that you don't need every time you walk into the woods. I hope this helped you guys. I really appreciate you watching. If you want any more videos like this, if you want any more specifics, or, you know, how I hook my bag to my stand, or, you know, the clothes I'm wearing, or anything like that, please put it down in the comments. I really appreciate it. I'll try to get to all of them. I usually respond to every comment I get. There's not too many of them, but I so much appreciate the ones that there are. So thank you guys so much for watching. If this video helped you at all, hit the like button and please subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I think I'm pushing like 450, 500 subscribers now. So let's get to 500. That would be super cool. Still got a few weeks here left of deer season in Ohio. We can go till, I believe, beginning of February. And I'm still gonna try and get a doe down on the ground, so stay tuned for that, and we will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.